There is a silent alarm that goes off inside millions of bodies every single day, and most people have learned to ignore it. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It's that subtle wave of dizziness when you stand up too quickly, the dull, persistent headache that clouds your afternoon, or that faint ringing in your ears that you dismiss as just a part of getting older. You might feel a strange fatigue, a heaviness that has no clear source, draining the energy you need for the simplest of joys. These are not random inconveniences. They are carefully worded messages sent from your cardiovascular system, a quiet plea for attention. The constant worry about the numbers on a blood pressure monitor is a heavy burden, but the body's own signals are far more immediate, and understanding them is the first step toward regaining a sense of control over your own well-being. This is not just about a number. It's about the quality of every beat of your heart. This quiet anxiety slowly redraws the map of your life. Activities that once brought joy, like a long walk in the park or playing energetically with your grandchildren, become tainted with a seed of fear. A fear of feeling unwell, of pushing too hard, of triggering that uncomfortable pressure inside. For those living with joint pain in their knees, hips, or back, the common advice to engage in intense exercise feels like an impossible demand, adding a layer of frustration to the worry. The body, once a source of strength and freedom, can begin to feel like a landscape of limitations. Many people resign themselves to this reality, believing it is an unavoidable consequence of aging. But what if these feelings are not a final verdict? What if they are a specific, understandable language that you were simply never taught how to interpret? The truth is, your body is communicating, and you are about to learn its dialect. The greatest mistake is normalization. Accepting daily fatigue, headaches, and a constant sense of unease as the new normal is like getting used to the check engine light being on in your car. You can drive for a while, but you know a fundamental problem is being ignored. Internally, a state of chronic stress can cause the body's intricate network of blood vessels to become stiffer and narrower. Imagine a vast system of garden hoses that are slowly being squeezed, forcing the heart to work harder and harder to pump life-giving blood to every cell. This process is silent, gradual, and happens beneath the surface of our awareness. It doesn't cause loud, obvious pain initially, but it steadily erodes vitality. This is why hypertension is often called a silent condition. Its most significant effects build up quietly over years, until the whispers finally become a shout that can no longer be ignored. But the body holds a profound secret, an innate ability to find balance. It possesses its own internal brake system, a mechanism for calm and relaxation that can counteract the pressure. In cultures known for their longevity, like Japan, this wisdom has been cultivated for centuries not through exhausting workouts, but through simple, mindful daily practices. There exists a powerful 5-minute technique, one that can be done while comfortably seated, that helps teach the body how to release that internal tension and widen those constricted pathways. It requires no special equipment, no physical strain, just your breath and your intention. Before we explore this gentle yet transformative habit, take a moment to write in the comments where you're watching from and subscribe to the channel. Here, we focus on understanding the silent signals your body sends that no one ever explained to you. To truly understand what is happening inside, we must look beyond the numbers on a screen and listen to the body's internal orchestra. The pressure inside your arteries isn't just a random figure. It's the result of a complex and elegant system trying to maintain balance. Think of your body as having an internal control panel with two primary settings, alert and calm. For many, life's constant demands, work deadlines, family worries, endless news cycles, have left the switch stuck on alert. This state isn't meant to be permanent. It's designed for short bursts of activity, not as a continuous mode of operation. When this system is constantly engaged, the entire cardiovascular network operates under a state of quiet, persistent strain. The dizziness and fatigue are not isolated events. They are symptoms of a system that has forgotten how to switch back to calm. Let's use a simple, powerful analogy. Your circulatory system is like an intricate network of garden hoses. Your heart is the pump, gently pushing life-giving water, your blood, through these hoses to nourish every part of the garden. When you are relaxed, the hoses are wide open, and the water flows smoothly and effortlessly. However, when the body is in that alert state, it's as if an invisible hand is squeezing the nozzles on all those hoses. The opening narrows, and the heart must pump with much greater force to get the same amount of water through. This increased force is what we measure as high blood pressure. It's not a failure of the pump or the hoses themselves, but rather a response to this constant, invisible squeezing caused by internal tension. This internal control panel is known as the autonomic nervous system, and it has two distinct parts. One acts like a gas pedal, the sympathetic nervous system. It's what gives you a jolt of energy to meet a challenge, making your heart beat faster and narrowing your blood vessels to direct blood to your muscles. The other part is the brake, the parasympathetic nervous system. Its job is to calm everything down, slowing your heart rate and allowing your blood vessels to relax and widen. In a balanced life, you press the gas when you need it and then ease onto the brake to recover. The problem is that modern life often feels like one long highway with no exit, forcing us to keep the gas pedal pressed down constantly, wearing out the engine and burning through fuel. But here is the profound secret your body holds. The brake is far more powerful than you might imagine, and you can learn to apply it consciously. The main component of this braking system is a remarkable pathway known as the vagus nerve. It's the longest nerve in the autonomic nervous system, wandering from the brain down through the neck and into the chest and abdomen, connecting with the heart, lungs, and digestive system. Think of it as the master switch for relaxation. When the vagus nerve is stimulated, it sends a powerful, calming message throughout the body. The danger has passed. It is safe to stand down. This single signal has the power to counteract the constant, alert messages, bringing your entire system back toward a state of equilibrium. The physiological effect of activating this brake is both immediate and measurable. Once the vagus nerve sends its calming signal, the heart receives the message to beat more slowly and gently. Simultaneously, a cascade of biochemical changes encourages the muscular walls of your arteries to relax. This process, called vasodilation, is the direct opposite of the squeezing effect from the alert state. Returning to our garden hose analogy, it's like your hand completely letting go of the nozzle. The opening widens, the pressure inside drops instantly, and the water flows freely and calmly once again. This isn't a temporary trick. It's the body's innate, built-in mechanism for self-regulation and restoration, a tool we all possess but have rarely been taught how to use. When the gas pedal remains dominant for months or even years, the blood vessels can begin to lose their natural flexibility. Imagine a rubber band that is constantly stretched. Over time, it loses its ability to snap back to its original shape. Similarly, arteries that are persistently constricted can become stiffer. The heart, forced to work harder day after day, can become fatigued, just like any overused muscle. This chronic state of internal alert doesn't just make you feel stressed or anxious. It slowly reshapes your internal landscape, making it more difficult for the body to naturally find its way back to a state of calm. The whispers of dizziness and headaches are the early signs that the system is becoming exhausted from being stuck in overdrive. The most empowering truth in all of this is that you have direct access to the controls. While the autonomic nervous system works automatically, there is one function that bridges our conscious mind with this unconscious system: our breath. The rhythm and depth of your breathing are directly linked to the vagus nerve. Shallow, rapid chest breathing signals to the body that it's in a state of alert, keeping the gas pedal pressed. Conversely, slow, deep, diaphragmatic breathing from your belly, is one of the most effective ways to manually engage the body's brake. It is the key that fits perfectly into the ignition of your parasympathetic nervous system, allowing you to consciously and deliberately shift your body from a state of tension into one of deep, restorative calm. You will understand in just a few moments how to use it. Now that we understand the body's internal control panel, the question becomes, how do we consciously apply the brake? The answer lies not in strenuous effort, but in a simple, gentle practice inspired by the principles of longevity found in cultures like Japan. This is a 5-minute seated technique that can be integrated into any morning routine, regardless of physical fitness or joint pain. It requires no equipment, only your focused attention. The practice combines two of the body's most powerful relaxation tools: deep, diaphragmatic breathing and gentle isometric muscle contraction. Together, they create a symphony of calm that resonates through your entire cardiovascular system, teaching your body how to shift from a state of chronic alert to one of deep, restorative peace. This simple habit is the key to unlocking your body's innate ability to find balance. Let's begin with the first and most crucial element: the breath. The way you breathe sends a direct and powerful signal to your nervous system. To engage your body's brake, you must learn to breathe from your diaphragm. Sit comfortably in a chair with your back straight, but not stiff and your feet flat on the floor. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen. Inhale slowly and deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Your goal is to feel the hand on your abdomen rise, while the hand on your chest remains relatively still. This ensures you are using the full capacity of your lungs and stimulating the vagus nerve. Then, exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6, feeling your abdomen gently fall. This longer exhale is critical. It is the part of the breath cycle that most profoundly activates the parasympathetic nervous system, telling your heart it is safe to slow down. The second element of this practice is gentle isometric contraction, a technique that enhances blood flow without straining your joints. As you perform the deep diaphragmatic breath, you will add a subtle muscle activation. During the 4-second inhale, gently press your hands down onto your thighs while simultaneously contracting your thigh and calf muscles. Imagine you are softly pushing your feet into the floor, but without any actual movement. The contraction should be light, only about 30% of your maximum strength. Hold this gentle tension for just 2 seconds at the peak of your inhalation. Then, as you begin your long, 6-second exhale, completely release all the muscular tension at once. This sequence of contraction followed by deep relaxation helps to improve local circulation and sends powerful signals of safety and release to your brain, amplifying the calming effect of the breath. Now let's weave these two elements into a single, seamless 5-minute morning ritual. Find your comfortable seated position. Begin by inhaling through your nose for 4 seconds, expanding your belly and gently tensing your leg muscles and pressing your hands down. Hold the breath and the tension for 2 seconds. Then, exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds, letting go of all the air and completely releasing every bit of tension in your muscles. Feel a wave of relaxation wash over your body. Pause for a moment before beginning the next cycle. Repeating this for just 5 minutes each morning, perhaps before your first cup of coffee, sets a new tone for your entire day. It's like tuning an instrument. You are calibrating your nervous system for harmony, making you less reactive to the stresses that will inevitably arise. Alongside this powerful morning ritual, a second, simpler habit can provide profound support: conscious hydration. Think of your blood as a river flowing through your body, delivering oxygen and nutrients. When you are dehydrated, that river becomes thicker, more like sludge. This forces your heart, the pump, to work much harder to push the blood through your arteries, which can increase the pressure on the vessel walls. The analogy is simple. It's far easier to sip water through a straw than a thick milkshake. Starting your day with a glass of room-temperature water helps to rehydrate your system after a long night's sleep. Keeping a water bottle nearby and taking small sips throughout the day, rather than waiting until you feel thirsty, ensures your internal river flows smoothly and easily, reducing the daily workload on your heart. The third pillar of this gentle approach is integrating micro-movements throughout your day. For many, especially those dealing with joint discomfort, long periods of sitting are a reality. However, this stillness can cause blood vessels and muscles to become stiff, hindering healthy circulation. The solution isn't an intense workout. It's simply to break the pattern of inactivity. Set a quiet reminder to stand up once every hour. You don't need to do much. Simply stand, stretch your arms toward the ceiling, gently rotate your ankles and wrists, and maybe walk to the kitchen for a sip of water. These small, 1 to 2 minute breaks are incredibly effective at reactivating blood flow, improving vascular flexibility, and reminding your body that it is designed for movement. This practice complements the morning ritual by maintaining circulatory health all day long. By weaving these 3 simple habits into the fabric of your life, the 5-minute breathing ritual, consistent hydration, and regular micro-movements. You are actively participating in your own well-being. You are sending consistent messages of calm, safety, and care to your body. This is a profound shift from feeling like a passive observer of your health numbers to becoming an empowered conductor of your internal orchestra. The feeling of lightness and control that emerges is not just a temporary relief, but a cumulative benefit that builds day by day. You are reclaiming your body's natural state of equilibrium. However, even with the best intentions, certain common mistakes can silently sabotage these efforts. Understanding these pitfalls is the next crucial step toward lasting success. One of the most common errors that can silently sabotage your progress is inconsistency. Many people treat these calming practices like an emergency tool, only using them when they feel stressed, anxious, or notice their head starting to ache. This approach, however, misses the fundamental point. Your body's nervous system learns through repetition. Using the 5-minute ritual sporadically is like trying to train a garden to grow by watering it only once a month. The ground never becomes truly nourished. The real transformation occurs when the practice becomes an ingrained, non-negotiable part of your daily routine. The correction is simple. Anchor this habit to something you already do every single morning, like sitting down with your first cup of tea or coffee. This is the accelerator. By linking the new habit to an old one, you remove the need for willpower and turn it into an automatic, effortless ritual that calibrates your system for calm every single day. Another frequent pitfall is rooted in the no pain, no gain mentality that is so prevalent in our culture. Many individuals, when practicing the isometric contraction, believe that tensing the muscles as hard as possible will yield better results. This is a profound misunderstanding of the goal. The purpose is not to build strength, but to signal safety and release. Squeezing your muscles with excessive force can actually have the opposite effect, triggering your body's alert system and creating more tension. It sends a message of struggle, not of calm. The correction is to remember the principle of gentle effort. The contraction should be light, around 30% of your maximum strength. The true accelerator is not in the intensity of the squeeze, but in the quality of the release. Focus all your attention on that moment you exhale and let go. Feel the warmth and heaviness as blood flows back into the relaxed muscles. This deep contrast is what sends the most powerful calming signal to your brain. Perhaps the most critical mistake, and one that happens almost unconsciously, is incorrect breathing. Many people spend their lives breathing from their chest, taking short, shallow breaths that only engage the top portion of their lungs. This pattern of breathing is intrinsically linked to the body's stress response. Performing the 5-minute technique with this type of breath is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. You may be going through the motions, but you are reinforcing the very state of alert you are trying to soothe. The correction is to be diligent about diaphragmatic breathing. Keep one hand on your belly and one on your chest to ensure only your abdomen is rising and falling significantly. A powerful accelerator to deepen the effect is to extend your exhale. Once you are comfortable with the 4-second inhale and 6-second exhale, try extending the exhale to a count of 7 or even 8. A longer exhale is one of the most effective ways to stimulate the vagus nerve and activate your body's natural relaxation response. Beyond the technique itself, a major saboteur is chronic, low-grade dehydration. It's a common mistake to wait until you feel thirsty to drink, or to rely on beverages like coffee, tea, or sugary juices for hydration. Thirst is actually a late signal that your body is already in a state of deficit. When your body is dehydrated, your blood volume decreases and its viscosity increases, making it thicker. This forces your heart to pump harder to circulate blood through your vessels, creating a constant, low-level strain on your entire cardiovascular system. The simple correction is to make hydration proactive, not reactive. Keep a water bottle with you and take small, regular sips throughout the day. An easy accelerator is to start your morning with a large glass of room-temperature water before anything else. This rehydrates your system after sleep and helps to ensure your blood flows smoothly from the very start of the day. Another subtle error is performing the ritual mechanically while your mind is elsewhere. You can be sitting in the chair, breathing and tensing your muscles perfectly, but if your mind is racing with worries about the day ahead, you are missing the most important component, the mind-body connection. The nervous system listens to your thoughts just as much as your physical actions. If your body is trying to relax, but your mind is signaling a state of emergency, the body will ultimately follow the mind's lead. The consequence is a practice that feels hollow and yields minimal results. The correction is to treat these 5 minutes as a sacred appointment with yourself. Before you begin, take one cleansing breath and make a conscious intention to be fully present. The accelerator is to add 60 seconds of stillness after the practice is over. Don't jump up immediately. Simply sit and notice the new sensations in your body, the calm, the quiet, the warmth. This helps to integrate the feeling of peace, allowing it to stay with you longer. Finally, a significant error is viewing this technique in isolation as if it were a magic pill. The truth is that no single habit can compensate for a lifestyle that consistently works against it. Ignoring the foundational pillars of health, particularly sleep, is like trying to build a sturdy house on a foundation of sand. Insufficient or poor quality sleep is a major driver of sympathetic nervous system overactivity. During deep sleep, the body naturally lowers blood pressure and heart rate to perform vital repair work. When sleep is compromised, the body remains in a heightened state of stress, which can undo the calming benefits you cultivate during the day. The correction is to prioritize sleep hygiene. An incredibly effective accelerator is to establish a consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time, even on weekends. This stabilizes your body's internal rhythms, creating a foundation of calm that amplifies the positive effects of every other healthy habit you practice. Imagine a morning that begins not with a jolt of anxiety about the day ahead, but with a quiet, confident sense of peace. The first 5 minutes are no longer spent rushing or worrying, but in a deliberate act of self-care, a gentle conversation with your own body. As you sit and breathe, you are not just calming your nerves, you are fundamentally resetting your internal landscape for the day. This simple ritual transforms the body from a source of unpredictable alarms into a trusted ally. The subtle fear that once shadowed every activity begins to dissolve, replaced by a feeling of lightness and control. Life's challenges don't disappear, but your capacity to meet them from a place of centered calm grows stronger with each passing day. This is the profound shift that occurs when you learn to consciously engage your body's own internal system of peace, turning a reactive existence into a responsive, empowered one. This newfound internal balance ripples outward, touching every aspect of your daily life. The walk in the park that once felt daunting becomes a source of pure joy, your attention focused on the rustling leaves and warm sun, not on a racing heart or a dizzy spell. Playing with grandchildren is no longer a calculated risk, but an act of spontaneous delight, full of energy and laughter. The persistent afternoon headaches that used to cloud your focus quietly fade away, replaced by sustained mental clarity. Sleep becomes deeper, more restorative, and you wake feeling genuinely refreshed, not burdened by the lingering fatigue of the day before. These are not miraculous changes. They are the natural consequence of consistently guiding your body back to its preferred state of equilibrium. The whispers of discomfort are replaced by a steady hum of vitality, a sign that your internal orchestra is finally playing in harmony. Ultimately, this journey is about rediscovering a language you were born with but were never taught to speak, the language of your own body. The numbers on a blood pressure monitor, once a source of fear and judgment, become just one piece of a much larger, more nuanced conversation. You begin to develop an intuitive sense of your internal state, recognizing the subtle shift from tension to release, from alert to calm. This self-awareness is the most powerful tool you can possess. It grants you the ability to navigate the inevitable stresses of life, not with resistance, but with resilience. You learn that you hold the key to your own nervous system, capable of consciously applying the brake whenever needed, bringing yourself back to center with nothing more than your breath and your intention. This is true autonomy over your own well-being. The positive effects of this practice create a beautiful, upward spiral of health. When your body is no longer pouring its precious energy into maintaining a constant state of high alert, it can redirect those resources toward repair, digestion, and strengthening your natural defenses. A calmer nervous system supports more restful sleep, which in turn provides the foundation for a calmer day. This creates a powerful feedback loop where each healthy choice amplifies the benefits of the next. The 5-minute morning ritual becomes the cornerstone upon which a more balanced life is built. It is a daily reminder that the most profound transformations often begin not with drastic, strenuous efforts, but with small, consistent acts of gentleness and care. You are not just managing a symptom, you are nurturing the very roots of your vitality. As we conclude our time together, the most important question is not what you have learned, but what you will do. The power of this knowledge lies in its application. So take a quiet moment to reflect. What can you change in your first 5 minutes of the morning to send a message of calm and care to your body? Perhaps it is embracing this breathing technique, or simply sitting in stillness with a glass of water, fully present. It doesn't have to be a monumental shift. The journey toward greater well-being is built one small, intentional step at a time. What is the one gentle habit you can commit to today? An act of kindness to honor your heart and build a future filled with more energy, peace, and confidence. The choice and the power is entirely in your hands. This journey is a partnership between you and your body, a path of listening, learning, and responding with care. Cultivating this internal balance is one of the most profound investments you can make in your long-term health and happiness. It's about reclaiming a sense of harmony that is your natural birthright. Remember that every small, consistent action you take contributes to a foundation of lasting vitality. As you move forward, carry with you the knowledge that you possess an incredible capacity for self-regulation and peace. This is your tool to use, your wisdom to cultivate, and your path to walk with confidence and hope. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. It does not provide medical advice or treatment. For any health-related decisions, please consult a qualified healthcare professional.